What's your weekend like? What'd you do?
Weekend, Saturday worked, went home, Final Fantasy, ran maps, picked up V Rising. That game's been a lot of fun.
What the fuck is V Rising?
V Rising is Vampire Rust is the best I can kind of describe it. It's more set up kind of like a Diablo. If you know the isometric kind of dungeon crawler kind of game. Build a castle, build a base, build some palisades, do a bunch of crafting, kill a bunch of humans, and PvP with other vampires on the same server.
See, I can't do like new games, you know what I mean? Too often new games have like new learning curves and stuff like that. The problem is a lot of these games are just reskins.
This is 110% that zombie mobile game. It is the same gameplay loop. They've refined it, made it better, made it look better, made it actually run well. But you make for a little crypts and shit. You build stairs. You can do all sorts of cool stuff.
Like dungeons, for example.
Yeah, you build a dungeon and then you wish a bitch would.
Just wish a bitch would.
Wish they would break in. Try you. God. I haven't been able to build traps or anything.
We've been dealing with oh man. You know, in California, for those who don't know, insurance is everything on a business. Everything. And so my landlord says there is a certain amount of things I have to require for you to be, here. My insurance says in order to be covered, you have to be here. So landlord here, insurance here. I wish I could just guns everything up here. But since I have the insurance, I don't have to spend the extra coin and like go all out. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, great. Bars on the windows and doors and security. We already have 24/7 security that comes like hour by hour or whatever, but that's included by the city. Mm-hmm. The fun part is because what's that guy? And down on Sutter Street.
Oh, we got run down?
Yeah. What is it? Shoots, kills man. Sutter Street, Carmichael. Deputies investigate deadly shooting. Yeah, there was a shooting, and then...
That's right down the street.
This was next door, actually. But, so on Sutter, right next door.
The building behind us?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was next door.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But so basically some guy got shot. There was an investigation, and then the guy ran over one of the security guards. Mm-hmm. That's this KCRA. Suspect officer hurt. But I don't think he was an actual officer. This was January 16th.
He was one of the on-site, well...
Yeah, basically.
The paladin guys who drive around. Yeah.
He was one of the security guards ran over, and that's January 21, or January 16th, 2021. There was one this year where a guy got shot next door, and the suspect ran over the rent-a-cop. So now the rent-a-cops are like, well, we're not going to work there because it's a dangerous area.
Dangerous. We need hazard.
Insurance doesn't require that. Landlord doesn't require that. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. We're armed in the store. So anything happens during the daytime, we're fine.
Yeah.
The concern is we're dealing with a burglary from November 2021. And funny enough, I think we finally came to amends with the insurance. I don't know why this camera is so far. I'm not centered at all. So we finally came to amends. We had 5 or 6 times you sent shit over. Mm-hmm. 4 times I contacted them. It is June
6th.
June 6th, 2022. And the date of burglary was like November 12th or what was it? Black Friday? No, November 24th. Black Friday.
Yeah.
Black Friday morning, 7 months ago.
I really wanted the deal.
I still haven't been paid. I'm covered. It didn't say there's a loss of coverage or anything. We all had COVID in January for like a week. Everyone was trying to get back. We were racing to finish projects and shit. Mm-hmm. And then it turned into, oh, well, we're out of the office. And then they thought they had time. Now it's been 7 months and they still haven't paid us. Statistically, we get robbed once a year. Burglarized. Statistically.
After hours.
We're coming up on 7 months. Like we have during business hours. And then we have after business hours. And then you have after business hours.
After dark.
Where all the crackheads come out. And then they just start throwing rocks at the windows. I think we've had window break-ins like 3 times out of the 6.
Spa next door is busted up. Nobody works
Landlord,
there. So,
you know. We got to send out rent check. It was due today. I forgot to mail that. But they also, our landlord is so outdated, right? That they don't accept wireless currency.
Yeah. They do
no wire
transfer,
transfer,
direct transfer.
No,
15-cent fee. Like
they don't do that.
Those exist though.
I know, but he won't do wire transfer. He won't do anything. He wants physical paper copy. I don't even own fucking checks. It's the only person I'm like, hey, I'll send you crypto. I'll send you anything. I'll send you fucking jelly beans.
Tell me what you want.
Tell me what you want. I'll do it your way. Sure as shit. His only way he wants. Physical check, friend. Okay. Money order? No. Physical check only? Okay.
Personal physical check.
If I sent you a gold bullion? No? Okay.
Can you imagine?
Wait out.
Send
this
it on
month
out.
is 11.2. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cocaine, it's the same way. It's powdered gold.
Yeah.
You got to weigh it. You got to ship it.
Yeah.
Fun times. But I do not understand how people can be so outdated as to where we are liable in our lease for even the air conditioner. That's what fucking kills me. I've never seen a commercial property in California you're liable for the air conditioner.
Mm-hmm.
Everything to the studs. So I'm like, okay, so if we're liable, I can take it, right? He's like, yeah, you get Crane, you take it. Okay. So if we move
out, keep it.
It's $30,000 unit. I could probably sell for $5-6 grand, but then deposit, etc. But I don't get the landlord scumlord type business. He's not a bad guy. His policies are very scum landlordy, but
he comes out and fixes thing when he absolutely physically
it was
legally has to.
3.5 months after a year of bitching about those lights that we had 2 people's cars get broken into. That's when I was like, hey, now you're getting liable. People will sue you.
It's going to start coming for you.
People are asking for info. It's time. I couldn't believe they actually fixed the damn lights. And you know what their handyman did? Just left the old lights out in the front in the garbage,
Yeah, he just
along
piled
with
them in the
boxes on the public trash. The public fucking trash. Like, throw in our dumpster, do something. But this in front of the spa next door just piled up. And all the homeless people went through it, stole all the bulbs, made a fucking mess of everything.
Someone tried to sell the bulbs to us.
Oh,
that was hilarious.
That's the same guy who steals all the hard drives. We had a guy last week who tried to sell a charger to us, a charging brick. He's like, this is worth something, right? We are so covered in homeless people doing desperate shit, though.
My favorite is when they bring discarded screens, the ones that can't be recycled normally. Like this, we put a stamp on it, we dispose of it, and they bring it in, and we're like, it's got our UV light on here. Are you sure you brought this from your shop?
We don't use UV as a form of warranty void like most of the people, whoever's going to see this in the future. I really don't care if people void their warranty with us. Mm-hmm. It's more of, I want to know if somebody swapped a screen. Because we've had it a lot in the past where somebody will forget that they didn't get it done here last, and then they'll go to, say, the mall, or
they got it done here.
They
went to Kentucky,
yeah.
had to get something, whatever,
Shit happens,
yeah.
But be honest about it. I'll help you get your warranty from the guy you need to. I'll give you all the info. I'll give you all the info against me. I don't care. I hate when people come up with a story.
The fast ones who always got some sort of story. We care less on your nephew from out of state came and borrowed it, and he went on a 2-day run away from home, living in the river, busted it on a rock. I have my phone. I had it repaired here. Don't know if I got it fixed somewhere else. Can you fix it? We got you.
The lady from Alaska. Do you remember her?
I went to court with you for that lady. I'm never going to forget.
Yeah. Tell that story.
So we had a lady purchased a phone from the store, needed it for her son who was special needs because she was going to Alaska and he was going to stay here mostly unsupervised, going to need a phone throughout the day while his uncle, dad, whoever was out working. She has her trip. She leaves December to February. She was gone for
2.5 months.
Brings it back in pieces. She brought it in a bag, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she brought it back in a bag.
With liquid in it.
With liquid, destroyed, ripped apart, battery messed up, everything messed up about this phone. It never worked at all. She needs to return it for full value. In fact, she needs some extra on top because her son was in mortal danger due to the non-functioning of this device.
I think she said he was on the spectrum and he was going to die without it.
Yeah, he was in danger of being injured and unable to contact anyone for help.
Exactly. It was very weird. She wanted us to pay. She sued me directly because but she wanted me to pay 6 months of her Boost Mobile bill, plus the activation,
Mobile, plus the activation, plus the SIM card, plus the replacement phone, plus emotional damage,
plus time and pain and suffering.
The pain and suffering. Yes,
it was like $900.
Yeah,
and I'm like, so what am I paying you for?
Free. It was like a $80 phone.
No, it was $35. It was a $35 phone, Boost Mobile phone. Back then, it was like a K1. It was so old. Mm-hmm. And this lady really thought she was going to get this. So we didn't countersue at the time. We didn't really care about countersuit. We should have. We should have. We could have hit her. That judge was so cool. He would have hit her with whatever we threw at her for our time, labor, etc. We literally just brought in our return right off the wall, picked it up that morning. I'm like, I don't know what to bring. Let me just bring my return policy. The only thing he asked for, because the mediation guy came out and was like, you guys got to mediate. I'm like, there's nothing to mediate. She's like, do you want to give me half?
Here's my policies. And she asked for all the money.
No, she asked for
half
double.
Of the money.
That was right. In mediation, she asked for double the money. She's like, oh, if you want to settle, $2,000. It was like $1,800.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would you ask for more? You're supposed to ask for less here.
The suit is here for this amount.
Yeah. She's like, well, no, I'm going to win. I'm like, all right, that's
the mediator
fine.
Did the biggest like,
okay, we're just going to proceed. And he's like, so there's something called discovery. You need to bring a copy for him. He needs to bring a copy for you. I was like, here's the copy of the return policy. I've seen this. I was like, yep. So she brings hers, and it's just an empty Boost Mobile bill, used the entire time. Mm-hmm. Looks like it was in use 6 months. Data usage shows at the top. How is it possible? If she was going to come out, or if the judge was going to side with her at all, I was going to say, look at the data usage.
Yeah. The phone was used for more than a megabyte.
What would the excuse be? If you were her, what was the excuse going to be? How could it use data if it was broken?
I would have put the SIM card in another phone and tried to say that, but the data usage lists my IMEI.
Well, yeah, but she probably would have said that we hacked it, or we used it, or we were somehow connected to it.
She had in a bag, in Alaska, in a bag,
and then her excuse for the liquid damage was grand to the judge. Well, I guess Ziplocs don't work so well.
But where
he can throw it in rice. Oh, you're kidding me. This lady was nuts. And then for her to come, she came back. What was it, 6 months later? Because I was like, Your Honor, I'll offer the store credit.
I still honor the store credit.
Absolutely. She's well within her rights for the store credit. I offered her store credit. It has to be in the same condition. She came back, and the phone was still not in the same condition I gave it to her in pieces. She lost the case, basically.
Yeah.
Judge threw it out. Fuck off. Don't bring me this shit. It was so hilarious.
Right before it was quickly thrown out, my favorite was you were both up on the stand, so to say. Yeah. I was allowed to sit in the little, if I'm allowed to come up, witness area, just holding our little return policy. And she gives the
big ass packet.
The huge packet of information: bills, pain and suffering verifications, statements, lawyer, therapist, all of this information, and gave it to the judge. He picked it all up, looked through all the different documents, put them in two piles. One was about 3 sheets of paper. One was everything else. He's like, these are the forms for what you paid for it, what their return policy was, and that. And she's like, yes. And he's like, cool. And he just slides it to the side, like for his attention. And he's like, what's all this? And she was like, it's for the blah, 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 blah. And he's like, so it has nothing to do with the phone? And she's like, well, it has to. And he's like, does this have to do with your purchasing and the return policy of the phone? And she goes, no. And he just like puts it on the other side of his desk, way out of the way.
I imagine it was a giant trash can for like shredding.
I want to believe it was a trash can. It landed on a desk below his
absolutely, because it's never going to go anywhere. Because the witness statements of like how she felt and how her family looked at her afterwards and how it was distressing her and her family and how her son being alone and out of contact for 5.5 months. Nobody in their right mind would leave their kid for 5.5 months.
Unattended, unaccompanied completely for 5 months.
20-something years old on the spectrum living at home. I'm sorry. Send him another phone. If you really... I would have been liable.
Family member.
I would have been liable, 100%. Oh, it didn't work and I needed one that day, or she had reached out to me saying, hey, it was broken and I need a new one. Or it was something to do with me before she had damaged it, liquid damage, whatever, and be like, oh, I can send you one, and something happened to the son. He then had the new phone. She had paid out of pocket. I could have been, okay, reimburse her the cost of the phone she needed in a hurry. Maybe a judge would do that. you waited 5.5 months and now you're suing him for $900, $1,000, whatever it was. It was under the limit of small claims, but it was so funny to watch this judge just say, "Fuck off, woman. Deal with it like a normal person." It was so funny. It was before the age of Karens. This is 2017, before Karens
right when
were
they were
big
starting
thing.
to swing up.
But her name was Karen.
Yeah.
And it was so great.
The
I'm not like I've said a million times, I'm not the easiest guy to get along with, but you come in with a smile, it's much easier. She came in, the only time she had a bitch about that phone was, what was it, half a month later? 3 weeks later, she's like, "Hey, it's not working so great." And it wasn't anything to do with her carrier. It wasn't anything to do with the problem with the phone. It was user PEBCAC error. Problem exists between keyboard and user. That was it. Was it keyboard and
chair and
keyboard? Yeah. Problem exists between chair and keyboard, PEBCAC. And boy, it was such a hilarious sight to see the judge go, "Yeah, ma'am, you need to deal with it with them like a normal consumer. We're not going to do anything for you. Have a nice day."
Yeah. I just love it. Throwing away all of her stuff, taking our single sheet of paper, looking at it, and going, "You've seen this? Oh, you have a copy of it. Yes, perfect." And then putting it in the yes evidence pile. And then like,
oh my God. And we're not ones to get sued a lot, but I could say we're a little more abrasive than your average consumer store. Just come in, tell us your problem. I'm happy to help. Eric's happy to help.
Yeah.
It's the screamers and the belligerent ones that were like, "We don't have to help you.
Yeah.
You should be thankful we are helping you." If it's something we do, we are apologetic. Shit, we break stuff all the time. Once a week, something happens. We do 500 devices a week. So fuck yeah, something's going to happen. There's no strategy. There's a guy in one of the groups, everything is such, and they'll know who I'm talking about. What is it? It's too complex guy. Great guy. He's really getting his movement out, saying what he wants for everybody to hear, and he's making money doing it. Like, bravo. But his generalization of how you deal with customers is the same as like 1970s. Customers are always right. You can always make a good thing out of a bad thing. Respond in kind to everyone the same way. It's just not how you do. I'm a human. I understand a lot of people are human too. And I teach you guys to just do the human thing and be empathetic when you can. Be abrasive when they come out swinging. Not really abrasive, but like be
more direct.
Like, hey, you want the facts? Give them the facts.
People come in and I know they're playing a game. I'll straight ask them, "Tell me how this broke." If you tell me plain and simple, no games, "All right, bro, I dropped it. I hit a rock. I'll discount on the screen. I'll get you. I got you."
Or if you're within the warranty and it looks like you dropped it,
we just do a service charge. We'll take care of the part. Like,
if it's just the OLED, 99% of the time, if you're not an asshole, we'll swap the screen out within it. If you see you dropped and broke it.
If you don't break the glass, I don't care what happened to it. Just don't make this huge story about how it needs to not be a problem.
Because if you came in and just 2 feet from your nightstand
on
in
the
the
carpet.
dark.
It was on my shin. On the ottoman, and it fell off and landed on the rug on top of the carpet, and it broke. This is horrible repair. If you just come in and say it's broken, what can you do for me? I'd be like, this looks warrantyable.
Lady with the 12 today. I was like, hey, they're all aftermarket. Everything's aftermarket. The only reason we have logoed back glass is we buy them from a certain guy who hasn't gotten the cease and desist yet.
Yeah.
Great. We never say it's original. We could say original quality in comparison.
The original quality.
Exactly. On certain things, there's really shitty aftermarket though. In-cell screens, shittiest quality. People bitch about the hard because it breaks more often or is like easier to break. I like the hards just because they're easier on the install, easier on the removal, and I would say the RMA is less in our store.
I was gonna say personally for this area, I don't have any trouble with the hards. When we did the softs where they were swearing up and down,
it's like 4 out of every 10 were defective on install.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Too much.
And then Jaquez was like, "Well, this isn't the way it usually is," etc. So we tried again. That was more on install. And then there was more on install and more. Every time we gave them another one up, like, let's try, let's buy more. I don't stand behind that company anymore. And y'all know who it is.
They do good work, but
they do good. And I just don't stand, they're not my number one anymore. I've been to bat with a couple of these companies about certain things, but the only company that I found that was like, hey, shit, we fucked something up and then changed it. Not just in that moment, changed the website, changed the policy, had a full team meeting that they invited me. Like shit like that is a company that's growing. Mm-hmm. I stand behind Injured Gadgets. Shay and Scott and everyone, Kevin, fantastic. Much easier.
Kevin's been the GOAT lately with the little shipping issues, but
oh yeah, but you tend to wait till the last minute. You are the teapot that does not boil. I'm telling you. There's a lot of the time. Don't give me that. You are definitely like, okay, I'm busy doing other shit. I forget. I'm definitely the asshole who'll ask him last minute and be like, "Did you order? Are you sure you didn't order? Are you sure you ordered everything you needed? Why didn't you order?" Come on, man.
Too late.
Why,
I got my
why
alarm
the fuck
set
didn't you order?
to go off.
You know we've had this conversation like 6 goddamn times. What? Come on. That's exactly how it happens. And he's like,
so that's not.
I'm overbearing, I guess. Yeah, I get it. You know, we had what was it? The fucking order for the 13 Pro Max, the individual repair stock. So if anybody doesn't know, Apple is offering parts.
For the
direct-to-consumer parts.
They do 12s and 13s, not the minis all the time, and then it's screens, batteries.
I did the mini
only.
myself, though. The battery for the mini that I gave to my son. My son's 3. And
those
he has
they
a
keep
12 mini, which is fun.
I don't know if they update the website based on availability or what, but I'll notice it as a rotating stock of parts. You can't always get the batteries, and the minis, for whatever reason, they keep unlisting the screens. I don't know if it's a quality or availability, but we'll see now. Pull it up with their own return parts. We haven't had many people aside from that first lady biting on trying to order it themselves. They'd rather pay than
if you go to the repair manual, you go to, because this is funny, they require you to go to the repair manual. Yeah. 3rd generation
12s, 13s, and SE3 are what they do.
Which is crazy because they're only going with all the newer stuff, right? So
they don't want to offer the older stuff.
April 27th. To get this, there is a 5-digit code in all of this.
And it's hidden. They tell you it is in this guide. Send us the code, and
boom, it's right there.
Boom, yeah.
So this is page. What's the page?
4.
Page 4. It is.
It'd be funny if they moved it around and changed it.
They don't. I found that before. 12 Pro Max, right? Let's go to 1, 2, 3, 4.
Nope, it's just on the same
page 4 on every single one, apparently. Let's go to 13, just in case. iPhone, that was 13 Pro, 12, 13 mini. I think it's 4 on every single one, because I did the 12 mini myself, and you guys did. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it's 4, ordering tools and blah, blah, blah. So it's 4 on every turn. I thought we had to go through because the first time I searched for like 15 minutes.
They made it seem like it's a Where's Waldo of wherever they put this code.
Yeah, but we've done a 13 Pro Max, a couple of them, and then a 12 mini, a bunch for the screens because the pricing is great. So apparently you can get manuals, though, for Mac desktops.
No results found. That's what I'm saying. They add and subtract things throughout the month. I haven't seen everything all the time for all of them.
Look at that, iPad 6th generation info. So if I was smart, which I'm not at times, I would download all this because if they're coming and going.
Keep it on hand. Have a quick reference guide.
But then you use it. Just like people use Sony and Canon and Nikon manuals against the manufacturer. When something doesn't go right, you can then sue the manufacturer because here's your listed troubleshooting, etc. Here's how it's supposed to work.
Exactly the precisely manufacturer indicated specific, instructions.
Exactly the thing you're talking about, So let's go to, where is it? Support.
That'd almost be really cool because they probably ninja fix these, and if you have an old version you printed, why didn't they release an announcement that the process was changed?
Because I think you go to right here, repair manual, order your parts. So there's a store. So we ordered a battery. The battery was convenient, but the problem is this is a third-party company called Spot. Now, what I found was funny, the whole reason for talking about this, is when you go to calibrate this, you're supposed to get to be able to calibrate it remotely through the software. And we had called, and we reached the same operator for all 3 repairs. I'm not going to say her name, but she's a Southern girl.
That's her. Just her.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's just her. She admitted to us that she is a third party working from home. She's got some kids doing her stuff in the background. And not once in the 3 weeks since the last time I spoke to her, 3 weeks since it was released and she had gotten this job remotely, has she been able to finalize a repair, to finalize the calibration through the phone.
To kick over the Apple software and the reboot.
I don't get that. So then she said, oh, well, call the customer service number, go online and talk to the chat help line. So if you go here, I believe it's please start name and email, and then you can go through that or Apple's website and go through and have them reboot the phone. Why isn't it just procedure to just reboot it automatically through the website? Why does she even have a job? If she couldn't do it for 3 weeks, we tried once in the beginning, twice in the middle, a few times at the end, and now we haven't done many of the self-services where you need to, A lot of people are finding that it's cheaper just to go with an aftermarket and more convenient. Yeah. Even though we've added all these to the store, which is super fun.
You save a lot of money on the OEMs, but OEM is still a higher price point.
If you go, what's iPhone 13 Pro Max right now going for? Let's say display.
The 13s, I just changed.
$309 for a full kit is $311. I'd go for the full kit. $2 for adhesive and pentalops. Definitely worth it. The fun part is they have the ceiling tower, the cowling upper, and then a full universal screw kit. So when this came out and all these adhesives came out for the phones, you see how you can order 10, add to cart? You can just order the adhesives, but you can do 2 at a time. I wonder if that's how Centrix and Injured Gadgets got their, universal adhesive.
They just bought them all from Apple and are flipping.
It's very possible because Injured? What does it cost them? They got a lot of fucking parts for the 13 Pro Max, considering. What is that, heat shield? Mainboard heat shield?
I got the heat shield.
That's weird. All right, so you have 10-pack, double-sided. Where's the original? They don't got the original here. Bunch of polarizers. But they had some at the time. So if that's a 10-pack for 30 cents compared to $1.90 for 1 or 2, I don't know. I'd probably go with the same quality. And people say it won't be the same quality. If you seal this the same way you seal the original, it'll seal fine. Nobody heat presses those displays in. No. Especially within, what is it, OLED, and some people have LCD aftermarkets. So that's an OLED. So
they have the OLEDs now. They used to only have the LCDs.
Casper Pro tempered glass.
Casper is having huge problems right now.
Don't get me started. Casper is the shittiest tempered glass I've ever seen. I understand it bends super far. Your phone won't bend that far. So what's the point?
Yeah.
It's plus pliable because it's like 60% vinyl.
The pliability is having it delaminate from the actual adhesive as well.
Oh my God.
They're having huge problems with people in the group. It's all the Texas folks. Maybe it's the heat. But the tempered glass is actually peeling and falling off of their phones, and it's leaving the adhesive. So people are coming in with fuzzy, no screen protector phones and wondering what's going on with their protector. They don't know.
I gotta see
this.
They
can't tell.
Because if you guys didn't know, Apple had released a bunch of shit today. And it is pretty good. So this guy says, Apple is dropping support for SE 2016, 7 Plus, Mini 4, Air 2, Apple Watch Series 3, with the launch of 16 after this fall. Anyone help me with MacBook Pro? I have 13 Pro Max for sale. So let me go ahead and just search Casper. Oh, wow. That's hilarious. 99 iPhone 12, OC experts. That's fucking priceless. iPhone 12 for $99.99. You are, even if you're going through Centrix, since that's Centrix Group, what's an iPhone 12 screen?
They've been coming down. They used to be $300 freaking dollars each.
Yeah. Okay, so they're using an in-cell. They're making $40. I'd charge $100 if I was using this. Now, if we're using assembled, we're charging $199. You know, if we're using X07, $199. I would say soft or hard OLED, yeah, probably. The reason these are sold out so much is because either you use premium or you use aftermarket hard.
Yeah.
Nobody uses the soft, even if the OLED breakage is, covered. Now, the problem...
They don't have the X07 for the hards yet.
No, not anymore. They took them away.
It's the bad batch.
It was the bad batch. It's been the bad batch. Look, they took them away on everything.
11s are incel now?
Yeah.
Ooh. That's why we're on gadgets.
Yeah, because this is what I'm saying. It's slowly turning to a shit show in the parts development. And it's not like, here you go, full
assembly.
LCD yeah.
Incels, for those that don't know, have the digitizer built into the glass. So it's a slimmer profile, which is attractive, but they are not as durable. They are not.
All iPhone 11s are incel, right?
They're all LCDs. They're not all incels.
Or sorry, they're all LCDs.
Yes, the XR and 11 were LCD only. There was no OLED.
Yeah.
There's a weird drop in quality for those two.
That's
phones.
the fun part, because then you got Centrix has one that's an OLED. Did I read that wrong?
They shouldn't. If they do, that is the most aftermarket of parts. Even if it's a higher quality, it's not made to support that.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because then you've got, was it 11 Pro was the...
Pro and Pro Max should be OLED. Those had both available.
Yeah, so you have LCD and then you have all OLED.
Mm-hmm.
That's a crazy thing because 12 Pro costs less because it's not a higher demanded item. But this is what I'm talking about when I say they're fixing the prices, because most places aren't given two shits. Because look, 11 Pro, so much cheaper. So we'll say soft or hard, right? So we'll say hard
About
47
$50.
and then premium 75. Hard 45, premium 72.
So one's cheaper and one's pretty comparable.
Yeah. It's a weird thing. My guy for my SEO. PayPal keeps sending me attachments. All right, so I couldn't find the Caspers. I'm wondering if they're deleting the Casper.
No, they're having problems with the Caspers. They have to be deleting those, getting rid of them. It's the hottest, coolest, newest thing for tempered glass because it's a easy stick, but also UV bonded, which is their weird selling point that I don't quite understand. But a lot of people have been posting in the Shop Talk group about their issues, and they've been like, someone will be reaching out via, direct messages to take care of you or whatever. So they're trying to not scoop it under the rug. They allow the posts to happen. People aren't getting banned or anything, but they're definitely...
They tend to block them a bit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how often they can do that. You know what I mean? I understand
you block
they
the little
bought
guy,
this.
no one's going to miss him.
Yeah. But it's really fucking annoying because with that amount of power, you shouldn't be able to be like, oh, well, fuck it. Well, that gets into the whole government where all of a sudden, well, we have to do what we do for all, or one for all. So if we block one thing, we got to block it all. So then it's, you could have individual groups that are people in the groups making their own little groups, then getting 5,000, 6,000 people into it. And then you pay somebody there to ban those posts. So, yay, Google account. Oh, you shared my podcast.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you some. I'm set on private. You can't see it. But
I'm never that guy to try and share it, but I'm now on the world anyway.
If you or Leslie post something, I kick it along.
I appreciate it. You're good people.
Try to be.
This is why you're still with me here. We're talking about firing everybody. Everybody. We are talking about firing everybody. Everybody.
This would be a good episode for everyone to listen to.
How much you want to bet nobody's going to listen to this?
Nobody listens to any of them.
No, never. It's good. This is our venting time. This is our venting time. And then one of the family members is going to be like, they run a podcast while you're next door doing no work? Well, yeah, it's like my only time to like sit back and like smoke it and like chill and hang out. And then you're like, oh, that's great. They should do that more often.
All checks out.
And then we're like sitting over here, there's an issue here, there's an issue here, an issue here. You know what was so funny? I will say, I did payroll last week. And so when I was doing payroll, doing all the hours, I'm like, okay, verifying. And I realized somebody had an entire week off. You know who. Mm-hmm. And then I make sure to pay him. Everything's written, sent out. And he's like, hey, I think my check's short. Like, really? He's like, yeah.
The week and the extra day off.
No, there was a week and 3 days off. Well, out of 2 weeks, it was a part of a week and then 3 extra days off. But then he had a half day.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, no, I thought I was getting paid for tomorrow as well. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean?
That's on next pay period.
Yeah, I'm like, it's separate pay periods. I cash you out to the moment. I write them. You're done for that week. Boom. Because I know what you're working. Unless you got an emergency, then yeah. But boy, it's hilarious because it's offset. He's like, oh, I thought I got paid through Saturday last week. And I'm like, no, that's the next pay period. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm just, I've had a lot of days off, so I'm just concerned I'm missing some money. I'm like, absolutely. You were missing a lot of money.
You're missing a lot of hours. Have I ever complained about paycheck? Like, I work the same thing all the time. So, I mean, I don't really mention it.
You have, yeah.
I have.
You have. But we ended up going, what was the jump? You were paid $15 an hour before COVID, right? Mm-hmm. Just 15.
Yeah.
But that was, minimum wage was like $12 then. Mm-hmm. It was like I started you at 15. You were the highest paid person that I had ever had on payroll. Ever.
Look where that got you.
You and Andrew, the old Andrew. Mm-hmm. And then, what was it? 2020 happened. And I'm like, well, I'll pay you all like $3 more an hour while this is going on.
This all sucks so much. Business is doing well.
I appreciate business is doing well. Great. So then it went up to like $18 an hour. Where the fuck are we at now? Near $20 an hour?
Yeah.
In 2 years that have disappeared? Tell me that's not the fastest promotion. My wife has been promoted 6 times at Centene and still did not get $5 an hour. That's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely batshit crazy to me. I forgot we were on split screen. Sorry, guys. So what I was saying earlier is Apple is discontinuing certain features. There's new MacBooks, which nobody gives a shit about. The new M2 chip, which is better than the M1 chip. Did you know that iOS 16 is not going to be like iOS 1.6? It's a Counter-Strike reference for anybody who cares. The operating system will arrive in the fall. It's coming in a bunch of quality of life updates, which means it's going to kill all the older things. It's also same updates message, most of the word, the ability to edit new text after they're been sent. So you can edit and even delete texts after they've been sent. Somebody's going to say some shit they don't want to. That's their live feature. You
can still pull the messaging information. Yeah. I mean, maybe not from iMessage because Wi-Fi, but it still sends over.
I'm going to call Mac OS Ventura Ace. It's always going to be Ace.
Ace.
Look at how bright and like colorful it is. It just needs a Hawaiian shirt and a slick back haircut.
They always 50-50 the dark and brooding versus the pop colorful.
Smooth ecosystem, etc. What is it? iPad OS 16. Nobody cares about the OS. Where is... Oh, yeah, that's right. Nothing else came out.
Just the OS.
Yeah, that's the entire bit.
New layout.
Nothing but OS and, hey, we're killing support for old shit. That's it.
And they make the announcement about OS so people don't want to read it and then they can skip out on their phone.
Guy. Yeah. He looks like the guy from, what is it? Not La La Land.
You got to put a jacket on him and he could sell weapons to James Bond.
Hello, Mr.
They always have the big smile, dead eyes.
Oh, God. No, I'm going to Google. Because I think, what's his name? What's that guy's name? This guy played the new...
On the right? Rami Malek, right?
Yeah, Rami Malek was not the latest, but so you had this guy who played in the new Mads Mikkelsen.
Yep.
So he played in the new Dumbledore Secrets movie. I think I've touched on this before.
You mentioned
So
it.
Johnny Depp was supposed to play in the Dumbledore, Secrets of Dumbledore, where Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yeah, he's the guy.
Somehow they changed. No, Google. Thank you, but no. Changed to this, and they did no backstory. They changed all everything was more moody, and not as vibrant and free. I don't know if it's kind of like technician notes. I give somebody a way to do a job. They end up putting notes in and doing their own little touch. I bet Johnny Depp and Mads Mikkelsen do the same thing with their script. Mads Mikkelsen did the worst job acting in that movie. And I've watched almost all his work that was stateside. He did Hannibal. He did, what the hell was that movie? What movie did he do on Netflix? Another Round.
Oh shit! He is the guy from
Death Stranding. Yeah.
That's why he looks so familiar. I still think it's crazy they get actors to play characters in games now.
Okay, so take this right here. This is Hannibal on CNBC. Cooking human body parts. So yeah, he goes through, he's cooking lungs and etc. He kills people, he eats them. Yeah, that's Hannibal, right? Mm-hmm. Filling his own stuff, doing everything. He's very ominous about it. He has this giant dinner party where it's all meats, and he feeds everyone human remains. And he's supposed to be some wild chef, and everyone eats it. It is the cringiest, nastiest thing I've ever seen. Even the clams are made out of human people. So they take all these horrible things he does, right? He is a crazy guy. And then he goes and he plays fucking Dumbledore.
He's Dumbledore?
No, he's Dumbledore's love interest. Where is it? I need to see. So here's the trailer and what he seems like.
What you're doing is madness. There's nothing you can do to stop me. Albus.
Grindelwald's a man who wants to make the world a better place.
No. This featurette, it's not it at all. He is a madman who is trying to trick the politicians to thinking he is, instead of a criminal, he gets acquitted. Mm-hmm. Johnny Depp was an outright criminal activist. He was a passionate activist at what he did. This is a schemer, a Slytherin type, not a passionate activist who believes the cause. This is more like, I'm going to change it. Yeah, means to change everything, bend people to his will. And all of a sudden...
The means by which he wants to achieve that is not necessarily what everybody else is agreeing on.
It was you who said we could reshape the world. That it was our birthright.
Historically, wizards and witches have not been treated well by people. We have to remember that people can also be very brutal, and that his hatred is stronger and stronger.
Do you really intend to turn your back on your own kind?
Dumbledore and Grindelwald had created some very strong bonds, and they were sharing a common dream, and then it shattered. Now, the two biggest wizards seem to represent the two sides of this war.
Our war with the Muggles begins today!
With or without you, I'll burn down their world.
So basically, that's his secret lover. Now, Johnny Depp would have made such a better actor because he had set up the stage to be this political like activist.
It's like an eco terrorist or something.
Yeah,
like
basically.
he's trying to do the right thing and he's going so
But
wrong
he had
about it.
a mind reader that could tell everything about him, read him like a book in the second movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it goes to Matt Michelson, who apparently he can't read, and he's just this angry guy who was never loved or, kept from and hated the Muggles. And it turned into this whole fucking malarkey at the end. Big battle scene, real shitty lead up. Great job for the box office numbers, but the rest of it was horrible. So it goes into, I'm really pissed about this movie. I hated the actor's choice, the Bond villain, thing you brought up. Well, today I ended up quote tweeting Kathy Griffin on Twitter.
The Griffin or Griffith?
I think it's Kathy Griffin.
I'm like, I have not argued, but me and my mom have disagreed about that because she's a big fan of her work. I don't know about recently, but...
Because I had posted, I was like, well, life's been a roller coaster of ups and downs. I accept.
Kathy Griffin.
Yeah. So I was like, life's been a roller coaster of ups and downs. I've accepted the theme park, not the circus. I found myself dealing with mimes and clowns on a daily basis who changed the park. And then I saw a statement Kathy Griffin, you got me confused now, had made about Johnny Depp in the Fantastic Beasts and in the trial. She had viewed him as being a ponytailed Donald Trump. I was like, that's a big fucking,
Yeah.
you're swinging a huge hammer trying to hit in a very tight crowd here.
Trying to hit any nail.
Any nail you're swinging, and that's like the wrong one. So all of a sudden, I think a lot of people are siding with Johnny Depp because they see a commonality of men being the victim in some of these situations and never being able to speak up, because you get a lot. You can't battle. Once a woman's spoken, you can't battle. That's it. You can't defend yourself. You're always going to be the abuser. Johnny Depp's been vindicated. Well, she said that, and I quote tweeted her, and I was like, so where's the justification? Where's your opinion on it? Where's your ties? Where do you see that as being like how as bad as Donald Trump? Not that Donald Trump is the worst guy in the world. I understand. He's done some really shitty things. He's opened his mouth too many fucking ways. One of those guys that's super glue on lips. Perfect. Take his fucking phone away. No tweeting. But so I quoted her. I asked her for the information. I was like, you tell me how I can make that distinction. Basically told me she didn't fucking have to. That's her opinion. Somehow deleted her tweet instantly, like, what was it, 30 minutes?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I got some fancy. I was like, oh, wait, she fell the fuck off. I don't care. And I was like, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen on Twitter. Like, it made me realize that Twitter is not that big a deal when somebody famous reaches out to you. It's kind of like the common lottery.
There's the weirdest freaking... They got 10,000 people they can do. They click on the first one they get to.
It's so
Twitter
hilarious.
orders it so weird.
Nobody on Instagram will reach back out to you if you're not within a certain range of their content. So people are 300,000
you got to be
followers.
within 15% of their follower count.
Yeah, otherwise you're stepping below the totem pole, so on and so forth. I thought it was funny. I give no shits. I do this for, what is it, passion project. I like putting out content. I got a couple of videos we're putting together for the store. I still have to post to Instagram the video of me doing the iPhone 11.
Yeah, the one you were doing
Earlier
last night,
today.
the night before.
Yeah,
or was
no,
that today?
Yeah, it was
that
earlier
was
today.
God, I don't know what time it is anymore.
How long was this? 21 minutes. I got to cut up. But then you want to see a very funny video. So my son, just hanging out on my head this morning. Yeah, it was very funny. You know what I'll do?
It's a kid being kid.
This is how my early morning goes when he wants up in his diaper. And then he pretend falls.
It's
Yeah, he's
7
got a
a.m.
phone, his own phone, in my office.
with coffee on the table.
Good morning.
The punctuation,
How's
the
everyone else's
cartoon
morning?
sounds in the background. The what is that sound effect?
It was very funny. 'cause
Watching YouTube.
I was like, hold on, let me see.
Good morning. How's everyone else's morning?
7 a.m.
Yeah. watching YouTube Kids on his own phone. 2.5 years old. Can tell you the alphabet. He can read some, writing. He's very talkative, normally. He already declared he wanted apple juice. You like your apple juice?
Yeah. Some up.
You still want up?
Yeah.
Where?
Still want some up.
Up?
Yeah.
Okay, where's up? I'm being led by hand.
So it basically takes me to the front of the house and then asks my wife to make him eggs, and then he pulls out little Smokies from the fridge. He says, eggs? Pulls out his own little fucking Smokies.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, Nummy. I'm like, oh, you want mommy cook? Yeah. This kid is wicked smart doing his own little thing. It's incredible to see a 2-year-old. My daughter, I was introduced to her at 2, was not as, as straightforward about what she wants and when she wants it. So with CJ, we don't do much you get morning, breakfast, lunch, noon, whatever, and dinner. Kind of grazes throughout the day. Khaleesi is more trained on that, so we do it more for her. He's not so much needing the food. I wish I knew the statistics or the studies on it, but we're trying to take it a little less, and I think Khaleesi doesn't like it so much. But when you were a kid, you had 3 square meals, right?
Yeah.
It was very normal. If you had a kid, what would you think?
About trying to feed them or anything?
Yeah.
I feed them at mealtime where they can deal with it.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought I would do. But when Khaleesi was, right before daycare, right when she got home from daycare, and then dinner time, she'd have a couple of snacks in between. But CJ, for some reason, will not eat right when he gets up. He comes, he sits in my office, he'll hang out, he'll play toys. How's your day? How'd you sleep? Blah, blah, blah. He's very interactive.
Do you eat much in the morning?
No. He's very following, I know.
He loves to be like you. I've noticed that.
My wife doesn't like that he's so like me. What? You
gotta eat a banana in the morning so you can get
I do.
to eat
I eat a banana. I'm trying to get on an egg and carnivore diet only. That's what I'm about to start. I was going to start it today, and then I left my lunch at home. And then I was like, oh, yeah, Togo's. Much easier. I like a lot of bread. That's my problem. It's not burning as many calories.
We all love bread.
Yeah.
We all do.
It is what it is. All right. Well, I think we're going to land it there. All right, everybody. If you haven't subscribed, if you haven't shared the video, share the video. Even if you don't really like the video, share the fucking video. Somebody may like it. If it's not for you, it may be for somebody else.
If you don't like it, share it to someone who also won't like it, and maybe they'll tell us what to do.
Let's start a hate campaign during business hours.
Send us your
try and cancel us. I dare you.
Don't try and cancel us.
I could be canceled. I could be canceled for the craziest shit I have no idea about. But then we could play Uno reverse it.
Uno reverse it?
Yeah.
Coming at people for being canceled is the number one way to get canceled.
I'm just going to, if I ever get canceled, ever, I'm throwing an Uno reverse card onto every platform. That's it. I'm just going to post an Uno reverse card.
Picture of Uno reverse card.
That's it. And then go about my day. I'm never going to stew about it. I see so many crazy people stewing about being canceled for something. I'm going to trip over a dog sometime in my life, and then I'm going to be called a dog beater or a brutality animal activist throwing paint at me, whatever. Something's going to happen.
Something.
It is what it is. Enjoy your fucking day. All right, everybody. Peace.